This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Macca's. When the footy's on, never miss a moment with a 99-cent delivery fee. Welcome to Triple M NRL Daily with Emma Lawrence, Brent Read and Dave Riccio. When the footy's on and you can't miss a moment, get Macca's delivered for a 99-cent delivery fee only on the My Macca's app. It's great to be with you gents again. Last day, Charlie White's back tomorrow, so...
Oh, we'll miss you.
No, you won't. But it's great.
Good to be here, Em.
It's great that we've moved this around a couple of times around Reedy's schedule.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
That's
true.
life.
Last week it wasn't around me, was it? Wasn't it around Dave?
I think
feel
it
it.
was...
Well,
I
no, it was
moved
you.
one. I moved one
You're
on
the
Thursday.
problem.
Can you
I
please-
moved Thursday.
Can you please take a photo of your fridge and the calendar on the fridge where your beautiful wife, Kylie, just completely organises your entire life?
She tries, Dave, but I don't think
Oh, mate.
she doesn't succeed.
So you've torn your hammy
You need
again?
a leash.
Tore my hammy again, yeah.
Jeez.
Second time I've torn my hammy this year.
Oh, gosh.
Also torn my calf
Drama.
and I've damaged my groin.
Oh. Speaking of calves, Latrell Mitchell.
Oh, man.
Devastating.
Shattering.
Devastating. All
Shattering.
of the talk last week was that
No.
they would send out the SOS. He was going to be the saviour. They were the
Yeah.
headlines anyway. And
Yeah.
it was a romantic storyline, wasn't it? The return
Yeah.
of Latrell. But
Didn't last
talk
long,
us
did it?
through what happened at training yesterday.
Yeah, look, he trained on the weekend and it looked as though it was going all right, but he's gone to training, obviously, on Monday to do a bit more just to prove his fitness. And in the warm-up, he felt a twinge in his calf muscle, some tightness in his calf muscle. They sent him for scans. It's found a tear there. And the initial talk was a couple of weeks, but my understanding is it's more like it's longer than that. It's going to be a month, 4 to 6 weeks is what I'm told this morning. So, it's not just a blow for New South Wales. It's a huge blow for South Sydney because we know they're a different side when Latrell plays, completely different side. I think when Latrell plays, they can win the comp. When he doesn't play, they can't win the comp. And now, if he's going to be out for an extended period, as it looks like he will be, that hurts their chance of finishing the top 4. Probably hurts their chances of actually finishing the top 8 now. So it's a savage blow to South. And I had a brief chat to Wayne this morning. You could hear the disappointment in Wayne's voice with what's happened here to Latrell. So just a tough blow for South and Latrell. And, yeah, it's going to be hard for them now.
It's concerning because he's been out since round 9.
Mm.
Is that right? Round 9? Or he's only played 9 games. I'll clarify that.
Yeah.
He's played 9 games this year and, Rabbitohs fans have probably every right to ask, when are we going to get a full season out of Latrell? Like, really? He's a marquee player, huge investment from the football club on your salary cap. And it's super unfortunate. Like, he's a gun, absolute gun, so influential on this Bunnies team. And to Reedy's point, he really does hold the sway of their premiership chances in his hands. But he's not on the field enough. And internally at the Rabbitohs, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. Internally at the Rabbitohs, they need to start to assess what is the long-term plan and future for Latrell. And is it worth the constant investment of upwards of $1 million when you're only getting so far 9 games? Really, if you're being honest, it's a fair question.
It's a fair question, Dave, but my answer's been pretty emphatic to that, right? I think he is worth the investment because I think when he plays, they are a dead set premiership threat. And when he doesn't play, they're not.
Yeah.
So I think those sort of guys you pay top dollar for because they give you a chance to go somewhere you can't go without them, right? They can win a comp with Latrell. I love Wayne and what they do at South, but I don't think they can win a comp without him. So for blokes like that...
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Without Latrell, they can't win.
I don't think so, no. And I think blokes like that you pay top dollar for.
Yeah, I understand that, mate, but he's not on the field enough.
He just needs to be on the field when the whips are cracking, Dave, at the end of the year, as long as they can get there.
Yeah.
So he'd get what?
That's
You
the
think
case.
about 6 weeks of the regular season, approximately?
4
or
to 6 was the last I heard.
we're around 17-ish,
So the hope is they can get... Look, they're obviously missing... Look, South's had soft tissue problems. They had them last year. Serious problems with soft tissue injuries at the footy club. They overhauled their high-performance staff in the off-season, and they've had problems again. I mean, they've lost Brandon Smith this year with a calf problem. Dave Fafita hamstring. Campbell Graham's sidelined at the moment, I think, with a calf as well. Now you've got Latrell out with a calf. I mean, it's becoming an ongoing problem for South, these soft tissue problems. And Latrell's not the only bloke to fall foul of it.
They did an inquest into Heffron Park, didn't
They
they?
did, yeah. They didn't inquest whether the ground was cursed, Dave.
Yeah, well,
Maybe it
cursed,
is cursed.
or the surface was
Yeah.
too hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not for me, it's not just the Latrell problem with South either. These soft tissue injuries, they scuppered their hopes of winning the comp last year. I think they seriously damaged their hopes of winning the comp again this year. They need to fix it, and I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I think there are still some of the high performance staff that are still there. But I suppose you can't just get rid of everyone.
No,
can
you can't.
So.
No. So I mean, look, obviously, if they can make the finals from here, finish in the top 8,
you wouldn't rule them out. With the big guns there.
I still think you need to finish in the top 4 to win a comp. But if South's from the bottom half of the 8, and Latrell's back, I wouldn't want to be playing them. It's a bit like Brisbane, right? If Brisbane in the bottom half of the 8, everyone's fit, you do not want to be playing against them. If South's from the bottom of the 8, Latrell's back, fit, firing, they'll knock some teams out. They'll knock some teams out.
They could be the first team to win it from outside the top 4. There's got to be a first eventually.
Latrell puts together 4 weeks of Latrell at his best. You wouldn't say it's an impossibility, Em.
When he's on, he's the best player in the competition.
Yeah,
I love watching him. Anyway,
that's the sad part. That's the other sad part about the fact he's injured again, because we all love watching the bloke play. I mean, he's just a one-man wrecking ball, right? So, it's not just sad for South and New South Wales, obviously. It's sad for the comp that Latrell's not playing, because when he's playing, you can't take your eyes off the bloke.
Well, hopefully he's back.
Yes,
ASAP. Come on, Latrell. We all love you. What about a blow for New South Wales then as well? Before we get into some more potential changes, Paul Laurie, there has been a lot of chat about his future. If he's not there next year, a few candidates have already been
Jeez, we're going off early here.
Well, he's probably not going to be there though, Dave. Win or lose, right?
Yeah, that's
I think that's the perception.
Yeah.
Matty Johns said on Sunday night, he said, look, if Joey does it,
Have you asked Joey?
I see Joey on Thursday.
You're in the stable with him Thursday. Can you ask him?
I don't think he'd do it. I don't
My
know.
mail is Joey no.
Well, can you make sure on
Joey
Thursday?
No. Yeah, I don't think he would do it.
Can you make sure you ask him on
Thursday?
Yes.
Yes.
Ask
on a mortal behavioural.
Yes. Get a
but
response
Maddie
from
said, I'd help. Everyone would love to see that.
I thought that question was in reference to getting in there right now, not
No,
next year.
no. I think it was for next year, Dave.
Oh,
I don't know for sure. I only saw the
I thought
clip.
It was go and fix it for Origin 3.
I think it was for next year. I think it was for next year.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do it. Imagine those two blokes doing that
it'd
job.
be a game changer.
Mate, how good would it be for us in the media? Like, it'd be gold.
Yeah.
And they love New South Wales, right? I mean,
I don't think there's anyone more passionate about that jersey than
Joey.
And you know what? At some point, I reckon, right? I mean, we all sit there and analyse them and criticise them, right? And those guys do the same, right? At some point, don't they want to get involved and fix it? There's a problem there, and you can see the problem. And both those guys have addressed the problem. I reckon go in there and fix it.
Yeah, but they've also...
And I'm a Queensland, I don't want to see them there.
They've also chosen a career path of being an analyst.
They can do both though, Dave. You can do both. I mean, Billy's an analyst and Billy's coaching Queensland. Why can't Matty and Joey go and do it?
Would those two, you'd have assistants that are regularly in the system.
Well, you'd have Boyd Cordner there. I mean, Boyd Cordner's in the system at the moment. And
Matty King.
He's a chance to take over next year. Matty King's there. They'd have blokes they trust as well.
Ryan Hinchcliffe.
Didn't see the full show, but saw a headline. Did Braith say he'd be open to it?
Yes.
Did he?
Yes.
Did you know that was always a thing?
No, that just was a question out of left field, and Braith said I wouldn't rule it out, or words to that effect.
Yeah.
So Braith would be keen. You should push him on that tonight, Dave, on 360.
Writing it down. Writing it down.
Write it down.
Oh, yeah, I'd be keen, or genuinely
I can't remember what his exact
pushing in the background, do you think?
No. I think it was more like I wouldn't say no to it. It's something I'd potentially like to do at some point. So there's plenty of options there for New South Wales. And as was said, Laurie looks as though he will walk away regardless of the result of this game. So
I think Boyd Cordner
he's a logical one.
Is the firm favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah. What he's achieved in a short amount of time at the Roosters in the lower grades and the feedback on the way he coaches, he had to – I need to be correct. I'm pretty sure it was SG Ball. The way he rectified their season after some sluggish results, they reckon they were bouncing off the walls. In one particular game, they were down by a big margin at halftime, and Boyd's halftime messaging sunk in big time. They came out and won the game. And I've heard stories of Boyd holding the Blues jersey and crying in in most recently.
With disappointment.
Yeah, nice for you. And I just think he's the firm favourite. Matt King will definitely be in consideration. He went very close last time around.
Yeah.
We talk
When Laurie got
about
it.
someone that is going to inspire players. Like, that's what you're going to get from Boyd Cordner,
100%.
without knowing too many details about
100%.
what has gone on with those SG ball
Yeah.
teams. But Boyd Cordner, when he talks, he's someone that the players would want to run out for, right?
Yeah,
and that's
The
more
other
than
side
half
of
the
it is,
battle.
you're talking about maybe someone doing it for 12 months because Ivan's obviously floating around the ether in 2028. So
Could Ivan, knowing that he is leaving the Panthers and it's a transition phase with Peter Wallace, could Ivan still do that starting next year, while he's still in charge of the Panthers?
Well, you would ask the question, I reckon, and just see whether that's feasible, definitely. Even if he's there just for a year to help Boyd out and then takes over the year after. Because I'd imagine Boyd, knowing that Ivan's the front runner for that job in 28, I imagine Boyd would have no issue doing it next year.
Can I ask a question? Why is Ivan the front runner for that job?
Well, I don't know. Because he's won 4 comps at Penrith.
No, you can't say I don't know.
Well, because
You
he's
have to
won
have a
4 comps
reason.
at Penrith. I just told you. He's won
So-
4 comps at
But
Penrith.
so is Nathan. So is Isaiah.
Yeah.
They've won 4 comps at Penrith.
Yeah, and they're in the team.
Now, there's a massive belief. There's been a lot of coaches over this period,
Yeah.
and I'm only going to – there's an asterisk next to Madge because there's a lot of coaches that don't want to be part of Origin because they have never walked inside the walls of State of Origin, and they don't believe it's the right thing to do to try and preach Origin when they've never been in there.
It's fair call, though.
And on Madge's style is befitting of Origin. Ivan's style, and bloody oath, he's a damn good coach. I mean, seriously, he'll go down as one of the greats. He is the Panthers' greatest ever coach, and he's an absolute sensational tactician. But there's also a style to Ivan of being very laconic, laid back, relaxed, places a lot of trust and faith in his team, and whether that is suited to Origin. We've sat here this entire Origin series chipping away at Laurie's pre-match addresses and having them apparently, if you read
Travi.
Courier Mail, they're completely uninspired. Now, you've just spoken about Boyd Cordner. He holds the Blues jersey and tears run down his cheeks. And Ivan...
But relaxed doesn't mean uninspiring, though, do you think? Like, Ivan's relaxed, but I wouldn't say he's...
Hey, Ivan must be doing something bloody good to achieve this. But what I'm saying is, 4 premierships, as proven by the players, doesn't always equate to Origin success.
Well, Craig's a great example of that, right? Craig Bellamy.
Another one.
He was up against the great Queensland side, but...
Yeah, so what New South Wales side was really going to be that Queensland.
Even if it was, I would imagine, Dave, if Boyd did it next year, for example, and Ivan wanted to be involved in 28, maybe it's Ivan and Boyd together. And Ivan's there as an advisor like he was to Freddie.
No problems.
Remember when Freddie had him in the coaching box for that game a few years ago? Maybe he's just there as an advisor like Craig was last year to Laurie, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And then you've got your Boyd Cordner, your Origin champion, who's the coach, and Ivan's just there in the background helping him out, giving him advice, getting the best out of his son. That sort of stuff.
You put yourself in your Queensland shoes. The power of Billy Slater is the power of Billy Slater is the players look at him, and one, he's a master tactician and analyses the game to the nth degree. But 2, he's an Queensland Origin legend.
Yeah.
So the players have no other choice but to say yes, Billy. And again, I'm not being disrespectful to Ivan, but he hasn't been there.
Fair point, Dave.
Maybe it's co-coaches.
Good to see he's already turning on the coach. Doesn't
Well, didn't you
I didn't write this.
I think you just did it.
Well, I'm a Queensland, I can do that. Isn't just a Welshman?
Well, did you say, Dave, this is the Unloseable series for New South Wales?
Unloseable series. Queensland have won 7 from 10 deciders after losing game 1. They've won 10 from 14 at Suncorp in deciders. Now, the 4 New South Wales changes in game 2 were the most by a winning side in 22 years. Right? And they also...
Wait, sorry, I think I must have said unlosable for New South Wales. Unlosable for Queensland.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry,
I knew
correcting
exactly,
myself.
I knew exactly
Error
what you
from
meant.
me.
Yeah.
the Blues have also made the most amount of debutants since 2018. So it speaks to a raft of indecision, uncertainty in relation to what team the Blues need, and a situation for Queensland where it's been steady as she goes.
Mm.
And in the eyes of Reedy, losing game one was a fluke. Winning game one was a fluke by the Blues.
Mm.
And what they did in game two was emphatic, and now they go back home, and it is absolutely the unlosable series.
Queensland should destroy them, really. Suncorp Stadium, the way they played in Origin 2.
Finally, you're being
Latrell
honest.
now. Should. We were short price favourites because of that. We should flog you.
But it's set up then for imagine how this win, if New South Wales could do it,
Be one of the great victories.
will go down in Origin history.
Yep.
Like
one
the
of the
time where then Cherry held up the shield and said on behalf of the worst Queensland team ever.
It will be. It'll be one of the
One
great
of
New
those.
South Wales victories if they can pull it off, because they've been so dire. They've been so poor in the opening 2 games of this series. For them to then turn it around on foreign soil when they got 40-odd thousand Queenslanders, or 50,000, baying for blood, given they've now lost Latrell as well, it'd be a great series win. I'll tell you what it'd be. If Nathan could have a big game, I'm willing to concede that if Nathan leads New South Wales to victory and plays well, he's an immortal. This is the game that dictates he becomes
An immortal.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Cam Smith first, then him. Maybe Billy as well.
When are the next ones?
I don't know. We need to check that, don't we?
Cam has to be next.
Yeah. I think this year he's eligible, isn't he? When did he retire? 2020?
So you don't think what Nathan's achieved already isn't in the immortal class?
I'd
No,
say
I
it's
think we spoke about this on Thursday.
It's
And
debatable.
You said I asked. You said no.
Did I?
You said
Okay.
absolutely not.
Did I?
So now you're softening your stance, are you?
Depends what day it is.
It's debatable, right? I mean, it's debatable. It's arguable at the moment. You could argue he's not.
That's not what you
Could you
said
not?
last week.
I said he's not.
Yeah.
Well, that's arguable, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's
said
not
last
get
Thursday?
bogged
What
down
was
in
that on? I've
technicality. The
forgotten.
morning after.
Oh,
Sounds-
yeah. How many
sounds like he's put it in
podcasts
reverse.
Yeah.
Confused
Sounds
how
like
many
he's
podcasts I'm on. No, I've always said that. I've always said he needs to own Origin, and he hasn't done it. Even though other people say you can't own Origin, please. Wally owned Origin. Cam Smith owned Origin. Billy owned Origin.
Joey.
Joey owned
Anyway.
Origin for a series or 2.
There'll be another 2 weeks worth of questions and headaches for Laurie Daley, that is for sure. Let's talk about the Bronco. So Ben Hunt has re-signed.
Yeah.
Did you see this
It was
coming?
an odd one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did. Well, they were in talks with him. So they've been talking to him
Yeah,
for
the
a
fact
while.
that it eventuated, it's not
And
surprising.
he said he
but
wanted to.
still an odd move.
He said he wanted to stay and do another year. But I think the surprising thing, Dave, is he hasn't been playing great. They haven't been playing great. He's 36, Ben Hunt, 36?
He turns 37 in March next year.
37 in March this year, and they re-signed him for a year.
Do we know how much?
No, I'd love to know how
I
much
reckon
he
it
got.
sits between 350 and just under 5s.
Someone
Which-
raised a good point. The average wage is now $400,000, right?
Brandy said that.
Yeah, it was Brandy, wasn't it? So surely he's getting the
that
average
right?
wage. That's right, yeah.
So
yeah.
why wouldn't you,
Why not,
as an
Brandy?
option, if he's not breaking the bank and he's just on an average wage, why wouldn't you have him there with everything he's done? Like, because
He's not playing great, him. He looks.
You can get
but is anyone at the Broncos really playing
and
great
you
at the
can,
moment?
You can sign a pretty exciting outside back for that same price bracket.
So
you
you
really-
wouldn't have re-signed him?
Oh, I don't think so, no.
I would have held off.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
waited.
yeah, that's probably
I would have got Billy Walters done.
that's probably the key
Looks
thing.
like he will get done, Billy, but it hasn't been done yet. But I would have got Billy Walters done. I would have sorted out the Dane Gagai situation, and then
Whatever's
depending on
left
how much-
over.
But they do lose a bit of experience, right? I don't know, like Renault gone, Payne
Payne
gone. Like, is
Mitch
that value?
Barnett's coming.
Yeah,
He's
but
a pretty
is he there?
experienced guy.
I don't know. Does the leadership value help as well?
Well,
Depth.
you would hope all things going to plan. He's not playing anyway next year. He's just on your 6-man bench every week because
I think there's an element of probably Ben only taking a certain number too. So when you say just wait to see what's left over in the salary cap, if it's 150 or 200, Ben's probably not sticking around for another season at age 37
Yeah.
for 200,000.
well, where's Benny going to get $200,000 on him?
Well,
You know,
he might.
if he's not playing
well,
footy.
he'll get.
With due respect to him,
Well, I
don't
think
know.
he'll get.
Maybe he's an accountant. I don't know what Ben
I
does
think
in his
he'll get.
spare
I
time.
think he'll get work after footy for sure.
He's on 365
He's a
NRL games. He can get to, he could push for what's that, 24.89. He can get to 400 next year if he plays all year.
Huge.
Maybe that's on his horizon
Incredible.
as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Been a good player for a
Incredible
long time.
career.
I just think at the moment he's like a lot of those blokes. He's just battling. And he's 36. He's not getting any quicker. And it just depends what the cost was for me.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred if they'd locked a couple of blokes away before they got it done. Like Billy Walters for me is, given the way Billy played last year and the difference he made to that footy team, I think Billy's crucial. You got to tie away Billy Walters. And then if you do get Billy Walters done, right, next year, if Corey Pakes or Blake Moser is starting hooker, well, you're not going to
have Billy and Ben Hunt on the bench. But no, you never have your full complement of players.
That's true.
There's always injuries.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
Anyway, but with Pezzett, you were assuming Ezra and Jonah Pezzett are the starting halves. Yes,
well, that was the plan, right?
Yeah.
But again, the other issue I had with the Ben Hunt thing was you got young Jonah Pezzett coming to the club. You've signed him to be your number 7, right? And then you got Ben in the background who's made it pretty clear he wants to play halfback. And I just think, do you need to be putting that pressure on Jonah? I don't know. I think you need to, if you made the decision to sign Jonah, he's going to be your long-term 7. Just give him the team. Say, mate, it's your team. Because I think one of the issues at Para with Jonah was playing 6, right? He's a halfback. That's what he is. He's a guy who runs the team, does all the general play kicking, just leads the side around the park. And you're not doing that at Para because Mitch is there. So I think that's part of the reason maybe why things haven't really worked out at Parramatta.
And even if they said, oh, this is your team, here's the keys, knowing that Ben Hunt, like it still does subconsciously put a bit of pressure on you, right? Knowing that, well, a veteran that's done everything in the game could come and take my spot. And has openly said, he's been open with that. Speaking of veterans, Dane Gagai, the rumours are that he'll be heading back to the Broncos where it all began. Is that, we think it's close to being done?
I think this will probably happen, I think he's a good signing.
Yeah.
It's just a 1-year deal. He's been in great form.
Yeah, 1-year deal's no problem with Dane Gagai the way he's playing, for sure.
Playing great. Yep. Very good. Very good.
It does squeeze Shibasaki out of the roster.
Yeah, but mate, they've stuffed that deal up. Like fair income. Shibasaki should have done a deal in the off-season when his value was at its highest. But his form's tipped this year and his value's gone down.
Were the Broncos willing to sign him back in that preseason?
Well, Shibasaki would have had more leverage. He's lost all his leverage.
So was it his camp holding off?
I believe they were chasing big dollars, And I don't think Broncos were willing to go to that.
600?
I believe 600 was the figure, and the Broncos weren't willing to go that high. And now it's come back
I'm
to
with the Broncos on this one.
Yeah,
so in all likelihood, Shibasaki will be pushed out?
I think, if they get the Gagai deal done, he won't be there. Perth maybe for him. Dave, what do you think?
Grant Anderson's also going to the Warriors too, so Shibasaki leaving, Gagai in. Jesse Arthur's leaving as well.
Yeah.
Few holes there.
Yeah. They've got some good young outside backs coming through, I think, though, maybe.
They need fit Dean Mariner.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Well, your Broncos.
Battling a bit, aren't we?
They're battling. Not like your Maroons, though.
No, this is a huge game. Huge game against the Chooks.
Are you on the Roosters bandwagon?
Haven't you really put a line through the Bronx?
I tipped them to be the minor premiers. Bandwagon.
I bumped into Robbo this week.
Oh, yeah?
At Manly, yeah.
What was he doing on the northern beaches?
He was just having a coffee over there, funnily enough.
Meeting a player?
No, he was just cruising. Yeah, I was having a swim down the bower and there was Robbo.
What'd you say to him?
No, he just come up and said hello. I didn't notice
Were you in your budgies?
No, I wasn't. Had the dog with me. Took the dog for a swim.
Very nice.
We had a brief chat.
You lived the life up there on the northern beaches.
Working hard.
Let's have a quick break. We'll get some Maccas into us because there's still plenty more to talk about here on Triple M NRL Daily. Well, before we continue with Triple M NRL Daily, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Maccas. We are deep into the footy season now and every game matters. But with Maccas, you don't need a stadium to be part of it. Just your screen, your couch, your mates, and a solid game plan. Because at this time of the year, it's all about making the right plays. You can lock in your order early if you want a Big Mac, if you want some nuggets, you want some fries, whatever side you need. When the pressure's on and you can't miss a second, make the call and get Maccas delivered for just 99 cents. It's only on the My Maccas app. Well played. Alrighty, let's talk the Dragons. There's been a few articles about, well, Dean Young has always said that he would like the job.
Yep.
Ben Hornby as well now has spoken to them. Who do we realistically think is the front runner at this stage?
I think Dean Young's got one foot in the door for obvious reasons. I really do, in relation to just the little tinkering and changes that have been happening ever since he took charge. Clearly, the victory over the Broncos was a highlight. And my goodness, they went so close against the Knights.
Yeah.
And statistically against the Knights, it was their best performance easily since last year. It was their best completion rate in 10 months, least amount of errors, most offloads since last year. So, like, they're improving as a football team, despite not getting the results. And I think the next 3 weeks are critical for Dean as far as his coaching aspirations are concerned. This weekend against the Raiders, followed by the West Tigers, then it's a bye. Now, if I'm club management, who clearly beat to their own drum anyway and aren't going to be impacted by what we say, I just find that bye period the perfect opportunity to rip the Band-Aid off and truck ahead for the remainder of this season and into the preseason, knowing who their head coach is. And that the key here is whatever new coach comes in, be it Dean, be it Ben Hornby, they need to appoint their own coaching staff. And that needs to start to happen in the back end of seasons.
To start now.
It happens in the back end of seasons. And I think that bye period provides that opportunity for Saints to make a call.
Yeah. It feels like Dean Young might have his nose in front, like you said, Dave. And it sounds like it's pretty close. So, that'll be good for that club to have some certainty and some clarity because they've got some roster decisions to make. Tapped a few blokes, haven't they? And they're still in the market, as I understand it. So the sooner you make that decision, the better.
You suggested, I believe, that
I just threw Madge. I just threw him out there.
What, just for the sake of it? Or
I just thought, things go pear-shaped at the Broncos.
When is he off there?
He's got another year to go. I said, why wouldn't you just go and ask the question? Just see what Madge is up to, what the Broncos are thinking, what Madge is thinking. I'm sure Madge's preference is to stay in Brisbane. I'm not sure Brisbane want to necessarily part ways with Madge, but it feels like that club at some point, if things keep going the way they are, things could get messy. But it's not. Look, it was a bit of a pie in the sky thing, Em. I just threw it out there,
Just looking for some clicks.
Just stirring stuff up,
Are the Dragons the club that, because the thing with Madge is, everyone has always said a certain group, a certain style of players, like Madge won't work at every club. Would he work there at the Dragons with sure, they'll be getting new players, but with largely the roster that they have.
I don't know. I don't know what that group of players is like.
Madge kind of has worked where there's a roster ready to win a premiership, right? Yeah. And he only has to
that roster will be a lot better next year.
They've got some of the best young players come in the game. They're young forwards of the Couchmans, Hamish Stewart, Dylan Egan, Jacob Halangahu. I'm not necessarily sure that's a Madge style of coach. I think, I'm only looking at the obvious. I think Dean Young's done a great job.
Yeah.
And largely Flano deserves a rap there too because he kept going with the Couchmans.
Yeah.
And it's all, a lot of coaches know this. They have to wear some bruises to get their players up to 50 games and above, then 100 games before you really start to see the fruits of their labour, the fruits of their ability and their talent. And that's where the Couchmans are getting to now, and we're seeing it. Hamish Stewart's a gun. Dylan Egan, as I said. Then you throw in the new guys coming in, Keon, Drinkwater, Metcalf. I don't think
Connor Watson's going for a year.
Connor Watson's, yep. I don't necessarily believe that
you need
a Madge style.
Yeah, I actually think they'll be in the mix for the top 8 next year. The Dragons. I think they've signed really well. They've gone about it really smartly, and they've made a real impact in a short period of time. So, if those forwards keep kicking on, they can do some damage next year.
What about the Doggies? They're still in with a chance. I mean, they've left it late, but still certainly hope. I think from the Doggies down on the ladder, it might be a little bit hard. You never know. But one of the talking points coming out of last week's game the weekend's game was the fact that Burton and Crichton switched. Or at least we thought Critter was playing at 6, but Luke Keary did say last night on Agenda Setters he was playing more of a 7 role.
Yeah, he did. And Luke, we know Luke's one of the great analysts of the game. spoke to how many times Stephen Crichton kicked the ball compared to Lachlan Galvin, and Crichton was the dominant kicker, and he felt as though he was the organising half of the two, which was a really interesting take.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's hard to argue. What I will say is, and I said this to Luke off camera, I said we're seeing a lot of teams where you actually don't know who the 6 or 7 is. Hines and Trindle is an example.
Yeah.
DCE and Walker is an example, and now Crichton and Galvin. So I understand what he's saying, but I think the days of the dominant 7 aren't as exclusive anymore as what it used to be. I think there's a strong argument from a lot of fans and pundits that you actually need a dominant 7
to
win a comp. And that mixture of you take the lead today, I'll take it next week, doesn't really work out in the end. I've got to say, it worked. It worked on a leadership point. Whatever the change did, it gave it a massive uplift to Matt Burton, Connor Tracy, and Galvin. Galvin was man of the match. Tracy played his best game in at least a month, and Burton played his best running game since beating the Storm.
The worry is they still only scored 2 tries, Dave. They may have been better, but their attack, pure stats would suggest their attack wasn't overwhelmingly better, right? So, but it's a good win.
They're a good team,
Manly's a good footy team. They've been good form, but they could have easily lost it.
How many tries did Manly score?
3. That's right, isn't it? 3 tries to 2, I think. I think that was right, So,
It just kind of butchered some of those golden point chances at the end, didn't they?
Field goal, the game's over. So, they were better, the Dogs, obviously, but,
I don't think it's I really don't think it's a long-term thing.
But do they, at least for the rest of the season?
I
think this week you got to go with it. You have to go. You have to go again. And honestly, I think they're just doing their best to try and find wins and find individual form.
Yeah, fair enough.
Burton found individual form.
He was great.
Tracy found individual form.
He was unbelievable.
So,
well, they have had to sort of changed the way they go about things, because they were they the best defensive team last year or the second best defensive team? And I think, they've spoken to the fact that with the new rules, they have been affected. They've been one of the teams the most affected. So, as you said, they're probably just trying anything.
The big blow here, Emmy, is Satili Tupanua.
So 8 weeks.
Monster.
With Kick-Out already out for...
He's a gun, Satili.
So
he's been their best player all year.
Yeah.
He shifts energy. He shifts momentum. And now without him, that's a real concern.
Will they get Preston back this week?
Not sure, mate. I've got to check that.
Okay.
Or I think Gus said... Oh, did you ask about Preston?
Yeah,
so I was just looking at checking at the time. Gus said last night he trained, but because they have the bye the following week, the medical staff would have to know that he's 110% because the safer thing is to wait till after the bye. It
sounded like listening to Gus, he wouldn't play, but but Gus, sometimes Gus is a bit mischievous, isn't he? Tells a bit, doesn't he? Tells
no, definitely not.
Porkies.
All right, Reed, man, we love your work here on Triple M on NRL 360, but how can we also read your stuff in the papers?
And Dave Riccio and Mick Carianis and all the big guns. Yeah, look, Code Sport's got a great deal going up to the June 30, $19.
Loose change.
For 12 months. $19. Code Sports, you get everything. What do you get, Dave?
$19 for 12 months.
What do you get there, Dave? You get stories.
Mate, you get
every sport.
You get any breaking story on rugby league.
Yeah.
You get any major interview of any sport. You get in-depth feature interviews, analysis, statistics.
Code Sports stats.
Sports stats. So when you're watching a game, you can just click in to Code Sports and the stats are there. And for $19 for 12 months, that is loose change.
Ridiculous deal. You just got to go to codesports.com.au/Triple M.
Backslash.
Is that a backslash? Backslash Triple M.
Because that's a special Triple M
It's a special
code.
Triple M deal.
I'll read it again. Codesports, all one word, .com.au/Triple M.
Yeah. $19, 12 months. $19. It's like, you can't even get lunch for $19 anymore, except
No
at
way.
Macca's. At Macca's
Well,
you can get it.
my coffee and my wrap on the way in cost more than that.
That's because you didn't go to Macca's, right?
No, that's true. I went to the cafe around
You
there.
can get 2 meals for $19 at Macca's. But anyway, You can also get 12 months of access to Code Sports. codesports.com.au/M.
And one of the great articles recently over the last few days, Bulldog Riccio was talking about David Campese's new role at the Bears. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, he's going to be scouting rugby union players in South Africa. I think it's actually not a bad idea. I remember the great Peter O'Sullivan, the greatest recruitment guru in rugby league. He was ahead of his time. He did this about 20 years ago. He went to South Africa. He signed a couple of blokes. One was a guy named JP Duplessis who came over here, and he ended up switching back to rugby, JP. But, I don't think the game or South Africa are ready for it, but I reckon they are now. I think it's a very smart idea to tap into South Africa. So many players over there. They don't know our game, but they know Dave Campese because he's a legend. Campo, a bit mad, but he's a legend of rugby union. So I like the idea.
And Gareth Holmes is their new GM of football. He's been around for a long time, been at a number of clubs. This is a good appointment, gents, you think?
I think it was the natural appointment. As you said, he's very experienced in clubland. Gareth has had a number of roles and been affiliated with the North Sydney Bears for a number of years. I think it was a natural fit.
I reckon it was the safe appointment.
Yeah.
Right? It's a safe
Does anyone want to be called safe?
I don't know. You have to ask him, but that's what it was. It was.
I don't think there's any wrong.
The Bears wanted him. He's been in the game. He's been at a couple of clubs. It was a safe appointment. They could have gone a bit left field or a bit risque. They didn't. They just went safe.
Yeah.
Well, given everything that has been happening, bit of chat about, the stability. Will Mal even be there? Have they signed any marquee players? All that sort of stuff. Maybe safe and stability is good.
Maybe we'll see, won't we? He's got a hell of a job ahead of him.
Massive job.
Got some work to do.
And another Gaia will be heading over, following in the footsteps of
the old man. Yeah,
great MG.
He's a solid player, Dave.
Yeah.
He'll do a job.
It'd be good for him, well, hopefully to get more of an opportunity because he was stuck behind so many players at Penrith, and then so too now the Tigers hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity. So hopefully he gets a good crack.
Where are the Tigers at? That was an interesting loss against the Dolphins on the weekend. I thought they were in the fight there for a long time.
Weren't they?
They're up. Stafford Toa has just signed with Manly.
Oh, right.
That's an interesting signing.
Yeah, he's a good signing.
His try was outstanding.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. He just keeps getting injured.
Adam Dewey's going to push to play this weekend, and geez, they need him.
Not bad.
Desperately need him. Alex Twell's 50-50.
Who they got this week again, Dave? Top of your head. Anybody know?
I should know as a West Tigers fan.
Yeah, you should.
I haven't looked ahead, but they're still 10th.
Yeah, they're still in the mix.
Oh,
Don't put a line through
they're
them.
one win outside the 8. The West Tigers have, drum roll, or the Knights, of course. That's the beanie round one up at McDonald Jones Stadium.
Yeah, well, that's winnable.
That's a tough one up there
a tough game.
on beanie round.
Yeah.
Oh,
But they're capable of Tigers, particularly if they get your man Adam Dewey back.
What?
Yeah.
Dewey.
What are you doing?
Adam Dewey. Sorry.
Just Dewey's fine. Dewey.
Yeah, if they get Adam Dewey back.
We're not editing that out. We're keeping that exactly as you said it.
They get Adam Dewey back, they're a threat. Because he's
a gun.
He was playing such good football. You had him in your origin team, Dave.
I did. He would have been there on the bench. He would have been there.
They could have done with him.
Just on beanies for brain cancer around the Mark Hughes Foundation. Absolutely outstanding. It is this round. They've raised $29.7 million through the sale of more than 1.3 million beanies. It's extraordinary.
Crazy.
They had the launch this morning. And
did you host that, Em?
No, I wasn't at that. No, it's just
the
the one.
Walk
I've done the walk twice. I had said I would do it this year, but then I got pregnant, so I can't really do it. I'm having a baby.
Lame excuse.
Having a baby in 5 weeks. Gal's doing it.
Gal's good on you, Galza.
Actually, I sat down with one of the trekkers doing it. His name's Adam, and we're going to run the story on the Sunday Footy Show this week. So his son Liam got diagnosed with brain cancer when he was 6 years old. He's now almost 8, and after surgery, radio, therapy, chemo, at this stage, he's in the clear. Yeah. Also, they never like to say cancer free, but there's no evidence of disease at the moment, and it's such an inspirational story of their family. A little kid, like, you hear all these stories of people having it, but there's just something that just is so cruel about a 6-year-old. They found out on his 6th birthday that he had it. And from the surgery, he also lost all speech and movement. So for a while, they thought even if he lived, he'd never walk or talk again. That came back. The most resilient little kid. So
What a legend Mark Hughes is.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
That's amazing what he's done, Mark Hughes.
And Adam, the reason Adam was so hopeful and they had this outlook is because of they looked at Adam and saw they looked at Mark Hughes and saw that how long he'd survived, how inspiring he is, making a difference. So there's so many beautiful stories that always come up, but that's one of the...
Yeah, your beanies are $29. Go to the markhughes.foundation.com.au and get your beanie this round.
You can get them at IGA as well. And there's little kids ones this year. I want to get Harper a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get one every year.
You have a big head, so you don't need them.
Coles and I get one every year. Not one between us, one each.
You need
IGA,
extra large.
Lambie Heights IGA, boom. It's a bit harsh.
All right, well, Read man, just enough time for you to get to your physio appointment, hey?
Yeah.
Got to get some work done on the hammy ham. We're in all sorts.
It's been great to hang out with you again.
Yeah.
See you
That's
both
it
soon.
For you. Are you gone ski now? Charlie back next
not from
week?
Triple M, but just from this podcast. I hope I'm not
Are
gone
you calling
ski.
the game at the weekend?
No, I'm sideline on Thursday night. I did my
okay.
last call on the weekend.
How was it?
It's good. You know what?
What?
It is becoming hard with the babies taking up all the room.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to breathe actually. So I think it's for the best. It was my last one. 5 weeks to go.
You've done a great job, Em. We should give you a wrap.
100%.
She's been outstanding.
Give me a wrap.
Legend,
Yeah.
mate.
Brilliant. You've been
shout-out.
brilliant.
No, not to me. Just
the
something.
beginning. It's the beginning.
All right.
Eh?
Love that.
Just the beginning.
Keep the compliments coming. And keep your reviews coming if you have anything nice or not so nice to say about mostly Read Man. Because there's positive things about Dave all the time. See you next week, everybody.